united in purpose, we stand strong, lifting each other, supporting our cause. Together we'll build a brighter tomorrow for our children, our families, our Africa. This is the A.R.A.L Show, where we plant the seeds of greatness in our children. Africa's future, we nurture their dreams, empower their minds, mold them into the leaders.
I am African, I'm a mother, and I'm raising a new breed of leaders for the African future. How do I say Happy New Year to you in the month of March? But of course, it is Happy New Year on the A.R.A.L Show. So wherever it is you're watching us from and at whatever time of the day, it is Happy New Year to you from the Women of A.R.A.L Show to you right there. I think I should ask if you can give a clap wherever it is you're joining us. So somebody's laughing, but then she has to have a special comeback. I am Zoe Octavia Obaze, and it is the A.R.A.L Show again, where A.R.A.L means Afri-Moms raising African leaders. I've never been alone. There's always been a steady and the study, so me. But if you can remember, sometime last year, somebody went, and now she's back. Gun, 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 gun.
Okay, yes. It is me, live and direct, on the A.R.A.L Show. So this is your girl, Somi. I know you're wondering, where has she been?
Where have you been?
I've been expanding the vision of the of the A.R.A.L Show, yes. So all the while we've been having A.R.A.L Show, there has been a little African leader growing in my womb. And I had to take some time off to birth that baby. And of course, took an extra time to nurse him. So right here, I am back and I am more energized on this mission to raise the next breed of visionary African leaders. So if you're watching us for the first time, this is the A.R.A.L Show, just like Zoe has mentioned. And A.R.A.L means Afri-Mom raising African leaders. So yes, it's good to be back again. So what's going on, my people?
By the way, if you have been following the A.R.A.L Show, you know that Somi had 3 soldiers, right? Now her barracks has expanded because now she has 4. And the A.R.A.L Show now has 6 soldiers. So don't try us. Don't try us. Okay, Somi.
All right.
Time
And
to
it's,
have you, baby.
I don't think it's too late to say Happy International Women's Day.
Happy
Okay,
International
so we're
Women's
still
Day.
celebrating. In fact, I heard someone say, is it not women again? They will colonize the whole month. Of course, you know how we do it.
We can't help it.
We can't help it. It's just us. We like to be extra like that. So yes, it's Happy International Women's Month because I'm sure there are 25 other, if not 100 other Mother's Day in this month, and we would enjoy every bit of it. So on the 8th of March, every woman all over the world was celebrated on International Women's Day. And you know, the theme for International Women's Day was catchy: accelerate action. And you know, it got I and Zoe thinking. So accelerate action, accelerate action. And one thing that team brings to mind is the fact that there is urgency. You can see that there is urgency. There is a need to accelerate action. And what better place to bring that urgency than into raising the next breed of the African leaders? So we thought, yes, let's discuss women as nation builders, accelerating action in parenting and leadership. So Zoe, what comes to you? What is in your mind right now when you heard accelerate action as the theme for International Women's Day? What actually came to your mind?
Okay, Somi. So, like my husband would jokingly say, English as a first degree. I had to look it up. I had to look up the word accelerate. And accelerate, in simple terms, is to quicken the motion of something, to hasten something, to make something faster. And action is something done. And I like these other parts. Often so as to accomplish a purpose. Something done. Often so as to accomplish a purpose. So if I put it all together, it's do something faster so as to accomplish a purpose. And so the question then becomes, what is the purpose? And now we have looked at, we say we are discussing parenting in the purpose of accomplishing parenting. And particularly for us on the A.R.A.L Show, it's raising visionary leaders for the African future. So what am I going to do faster? What am I going to hasten? What am I going to increase my motion off or in towards accomplishing that goal? And then leadership as well. I am a leader in my home with my children. I know we are women in our various forms are leaders. So that's what comes to mind.
Okay, so that's a very interesting one. And there is a debate that people often say. They say our parents' generation did parenting better than our generation, which is quite debatable anyways. Because it seems like, when you go to social media, it seems someone somewhere is talking about parenting, someone somewhere, there's more awareness. For me, I think our parents did parenting on autopilot. Like, let's take each day. It was only a very few of them that were actually very deliberate, very intentional, knowing that this is my legacy and I need to be intentional about how I handle this legacy. So there's also a heightened awareness in this age that you need to do parenting better. And because the time and the tides are changing, there's this thing where what work with us cannot work with our children. So the question now for me is, do you really think that our parents' generation did better at parenting than we are doing?
So like you said, Somi, it's debatable. However, I'm aware that we are plagued with several distractions. So I remember, however slightly, I remember that in my own home, there was a lot of sitting together, having time. And you know how that time just rubs off. You are picking the characteristics from this person. You are realizing that, oh, this person has started doing this. Oh, no, stop that. You are telling yourself, oh, this person is good at this. There was a lot of close relationship. But it appears that now there is so much of distraction that people are not really in touch. It's sad that in a sense, parents are not exactly in touch with their children. So they are surprised. My child does something in school and it surprises me. The teachers are realizing before me that my child has picked up this habit. So I think that while it's debatable, the facts before us is that there are several things calling for the attention of the parents in this generation, such that it then makes it look like, oh, are we truly doing the work like those people did, when all they tried to do was, if I'm going to work, I'm even going with you, in the sense that if I'm trading, you are with me in the market, you sleep there, you wake up, we're there. I'm going to farm, you are farming with me. I'm learning that, this is my picky, I say this one lazy, I say this one strong, and then I'm able to, So I think that is the question. But as to who is doing better, I think that you have seen what they produced in today. Then what will we produce? That now is left for the future to answer.
Wow, that's actually true, because it wouldn't be nice to score yourself in an exam you're setting. So we'd leave our children to determine if we actually did a good job with raising them by their fruits, by the fruits they would eventually bring into the society. And I also think that coming from, based on what you're saying, I also think that the fact that there's a decline in communal living. When I mean communal living, then parenting was more of a collective effort.
Yes.
There's an auntie scolding you when you do something wrong. There's a neighbor that is not related to you that won't let you get away with wrongdoing. There is just someone somewhere making sure that you don't derail. But in this generation, in our generation, there is more of closed, this is my child. There's this draw the line. This is my child, it's not your business. In fact, you're even scared these days to correct children when they are wrong, because you don't even know how their parents will react to it. Do you understand? So I think that also has a role to play. But like you said, the future will tell if we're doing a better job than our parents did. Okay, so let's hit the nail on the head. Women as nation builders. And you know, when when you come to say that, there is this tendency to make it look like, oh, that's what of the men? Men should be the pillar of the society. How can women be the nation builders? Then what then is the role of the men?
Who are the heads?
Yes, who are the head of this
Of the
of the
family,
family and all. So when we say women as nation builders, what exactly are we trying to say to our audience? What message are we trying to pass to our audience? Because I'm sure a lot of them will be like, why does it have to be women? Why not humans as nation builders? Do you get? So why women? So
Okay, so I don't know why you returned in 2025 to do this to me. Because it's like so me is ready to just, Zoe, you always take the first dive, but really, babe. Recently, I've been having to observe certain children, and I realized that I didn't plan it, but almost every time I see male, female, teenage children do certain things, immediately they do it. I'm just seeing their mother. I can count. So in the community where I live, in the Christian community where I function, there's this young boy. There's a certain way he answers. There's a body language. I can't describe it, but he's male. But when he does it, I'm seeing his mom. So, and then I've also seen another female do something. So, generally, yes, fathers are the head of the home, and we're not contesting or contending with that fact. However, the influence that a mother has on her children is just natural. Because there's a connect. I mean, somebody says that even when they sever the umbilical cord, it's never exactly severed.
Yeah.
Because there was a time when this particular human you are seeing fed from this woman. There was a time when she nursed him. I mean, for you, it's so real because it's still very fresh. How your baby still clings to you for breast milk.
Yeah.
I mean, he was feeding off you. So, when we now talk about you as a mother and a nation builder, it's like the song I remembered somebody singing, a Nigerian scriptwriter. If you be leader, lead us well.
Yeah.
No, let this nation to fall inside well. So if eventually the children you're leading will be at the end of affairs, they will be the ones to head the community. They will be the ones to head families. Then it's just plot the graph. Right now, the child is picking up many things from you. The child wants to know what mommy has to say. The child is listening to you for counsel, is asking you more questions. Children ask their mothers more questions than they ask their fathers on the average. Now, let's not take out the fact that there are some exceptions where there's no mother in the picture or mommy is unavailable. But generally, on the average, children are more prone or more drawn to their mothers for influence. Yeah. So if the mother is influencing the child more, and that's the child that's going to grow up to be at the aim of affairs of society, it just adds up. That invariably, it is what the mother has passed on to that child. That child, when now an adult, would pass on in his own leadership style and abilities.
Okay, yeah, so, and we would like to say that today's topic, yes, we know it's Afri-Moms raising African leaders, but we were deliberate about saying women as nation builders, not mothers as nation builder, because we believe that every woman out there is a mother, whether you birthed a child biologically or not. There's just this motherly instinct, because really, as in, sometimes I check it, I don't think there's really any manual. Was there any manual given to you for motherhood? So it shows that it's just an instinct that is inbuilt, that you naturally pick up. So that's why we're saying women, not just mothers, women naturally. So, and that brings us to the point that at A.R.A.L Show, we understand that as mothers who have birthed biological children, we can't do it alone. So for every woman out there who is hoping to be a biological mother someday, or who doesn't even want to, because there are actually people that say, I don't want children.
Okay. I've not met, but I know I've heard.
In fact, there's one particular one I follow on social media. She's very vocal about it. And sorry to say, to me somehow, it sounds selfish, her reason. She doesn't want to be encumbered with all the whole... Because really, let's be sincere. A friend of mine told me something one day. She's a first-time mom, and I'm sure she's going to watch this. She told me, how come nobody talks so much about the sacrifices that is demanded in motherhood? I just laughed. I said, this is just the
In
beginning.
local parlance, they know the third person.
And the
That
truth
can
of the
say.
matter is, there is no way, nothing can prepare you for motherhood than motherhood itself.
Bam.
No matter what you're told,
Bam.
nothing can prepare you for motherhood itself until you embark on the journey. Because when they are telling you, everything will just be passing here, you'll be like, is it that serious? What is that? What is? It's when you get into it, you realize that some things are caught, not taught. So that's when you now realize that, oh, and for me, I keep saying it, that one of the things motherhood did for me was that it gave me an appreciation of my mother more. Of my two parents, my mom was the Indaboski. My mother beats me in this life. My mother was the liquid metal. As in, she beat me so much in this life. There was a day I had to tell her that you cannot be my mother and be beating me like this. Come and show me my real mother. So at the end of the day, I was crying, she was crying. Because what I told her pained her. So we were both crying. Both the beating and the bitter.
The beating and the bitter.
So we were both crying. But, you know, the fact that I've had to go through that experience now gave me a deeper appreciation. Her methods may not have been, you know, the best. But that was what she knew. That was how far she knew. That was her best. As in, that was what... And the truth of the matter is that my mom is this kind of person that is so hard. But you will never question her love for you, because as she's beating you, she will feed you very well. She will still... They will call her now. She will act like she's not interested, though. But they will call her now and say something happened to you. My mom might forget she's not wearing clothes and run off. In fact, it's so bad that sometimes I ask her, come, is it that you were barren in your former life? Because her kind of devotion to her children, I admired that about her. That's just the truth. But she was so... that woman dealt with me. So it's not just this thing. There is a role women play. And we're saying that as we're accelerating action on IWD, the focus for accelerating action was on gender equality. Even though I keep saying it, I'm not a fan of gender equality. And it's very, or I'm not an advocate, rather, for gender equality. And, you know, sometimes some people might say I'm biased because I have sons and I have brothers. But that's not the truth. The truth is, as much as we want to be equal with men, we are already, as in, a world apart. If not for anything, our biological makeup. So there are some things that men will do that I will not be able to compete with them in.
I'm not interested in doing.
I'm not even interested in
It's
doing
as
it.
simple as
So
that.
I am more an advocate of gender equity. That's just it. No matter how hard a man tries, he can't bet a baby. No, so when I'm saying, talking of the pains that come with childbirth, it's only my fellow woman that can relate. A man cannot relate. Even if he was there in the delivery room and saw you, he can still relate with the process of childbirth. A man cannot menstruate, no matter how hard he tries. So there are some things that are biologically yours. So if you're saying gender equality, then you have to make sure you get men to birth babies. You get men to menstruate. Do you understand? So there's already a disparity. And I think God was not foolish to have done that. So I am more of a fan of gender equity. Let there be equity. Give everyone based on what they need to thrive. So it's just like you having one tall person. I've given the illustration before. You're giving... Okay, let me not even go far. There was a debate some time ago about transgenders participating in women's sports. That is, men that have become women participating in women's sports. Because, yes, they have changed their physical distance. You can't change that DNA. That's biological. There's still something that is a man in you. So that's why I don't even understand the deception. I'm not a man, I'm a woman. Keep deceiving yourself. At the end of the day, you are still what you are. Because if you're not, why then are the women complaining that they don't want to compete with these transgender women? Because no matter what, they are still men. Our energies are not the same thing. You might have changed, done all the surgery and everything. So that goes to show you that equality is something we might never be able to achieve.
Very true.
So we should be more about equity. So I am a woman. I just birthed a baby, for example.
Yes.
Yes, my husband also goes through the process, but he didn't go into that labor room. He didn't house the child in the womb and everything. So while you're giving me, while you're creating an avenue for me to still thrive while nursing my baby, what I require to replenish is not the same thing my husband needs, even though we both have we both have a child. I don't know if you get what I mean.
Yes, I do.
So for me, I lost a lot of blood while giving birth to my baby. I lost a lot of things. So even in feeding, for example, our nutritional requirements are not the same.
True.
So that's what I mean by equity. Give each person what they need to thrive. Not trying to give everybody the same thing. It's just like, okay, in a place where there are blind people, lame people, and everything, you say and able-bodied people, and you say all of you run a 200-meter race. The blind person cannot even see to know which one is 200 meters.
True.
The lame person cannot even move from where he is. But you're putting everybody on the same pedestrian. Apologies for using the word normal person. Sorry, everybody is normal. I just realized that everybody is normal. But what I mean is someone without disability.
Yeah.
You putting the person on the same pedestal with the other person. So that's what we're saying. Women, we shouldn't. I see a lot of strife in this our generation. They just seem to be this anger, as in, I don't know. It just seems to be, why should men have all the privileges? Why should be? But that shouldn't be the bone of contention. The bone of contention should be, I am a woman. I have these peculiarities that is different from a man, and that no matter how hard he tries, he can't have those features. So give me what I need to survive as a woman. So for a woman now in a workplace, gender equity could be creating a crèche or something where I can bring in my baby while attending to my work. But a man does not need a crèche. So if you're saying gender equality, because it's gender equality, put crèche for everybody. What is the man bringing to the crèche? Do you understand? On the other, so there are just a lot of things. So maybe I should allow you also.
So I'm sure you cannot see yourself, but I can see you. There's so much passion in your eyes, and listening to you about this debate of gender equality vis-a-vis or in comparison to gender equity. But my mind, when I was, should I use the word meditate or thinking over this topic, today's topic, women as nation builders, accelerating action in parenting and leadership, I then started looking at how now I'm having to bring it back now to women being mothers and leading their children. I then looked up John C. Maxwell.
Yeah.
John C. Maxwell defined a leader as one who knows the way, goes the way, and shows the way. I think I need to say that again. John C. Maxwell. A leader is one who knows the way, goes the way, and shows the way. And it then occurred to me that, as a mother, so now we are putting it in this way, a mother as a leader is one who knows the way, goes the way, and shows the way. So she has little children, but she knows where she wants them to get to. She has children she's nurturing. Perhaps they have now grown a bit more, and she's going the way. What's going the way? Exemplifying what she's hoping to pass on to them. She's showing the way. She's going the way is something about herself already wearing these things. And then I was able to derive, should I say, like an acronym now for what I think a leader, as a mother, as a leader, can embody in her pursuit of being a leader to her children. I have the acronym is CAR-EI. CAR-EI. So CAR, 2 E's and 3 I's. So C, clarity of vision. As a mother, what exactly do you want to see in this child? When you're looking at this child of yours, what are you hoping that this child will become? And are you articulating it such that you and the child know that, okay, this is where we are going? Clarity of vision, that's C. A, adaptability. So I might not live in the same neighborhood as Somi, neither might Somi live in mine. It might be that what I desire for my child is what Somi desires for hers, but I'm able to adapt my situation, our economic reality, the society where we live in. You might be joining us from different parts of Africa. You might even be in the diaspora, but I'm able to adapt whatever is my reality to this vision that I'm hoping my child can attain. That's CA. Then the R. That R stands for resilience. You and I know that there are many difficulties that we will come in contact with in our pursuit of raising our children as leaders. There are many hurdles we'll cross. While you are raising your child, you are equally being a wife to your husband. You are equally being a mother to your aged parents. You are equally being somebody of value in the society. You might even still be someone who has younger people who are looking up to you, and you are making efforts to mentor or to encourage. That is our resilience. You're trying to, not give one up for another. CAR, C for clarity of vision, A for adaptability, R for resilience. Now, 2 E's. The first E is empowerment. Each time I kept on seeing empowerment, I remember my 5 on going towards 6 son. He has been telling me, Mommy, I want to wash plates. Mommy, I want to do dishes. But all I'm thinking about as I'm listening to him is, I will mop this floor. Oh my God. So as he's begging me, I'm telling him very soon. In fact, he told me this morning, Mommy, I want to do this. So I've made up my mind as I was leaving the house this morning. I think I have to get some tools. Like, I think I need a stool so that we can sit together, and I have to make up my mind that it's just mopping. It's not so tough. So what am I doing? I'm empowering him. My son would begin to know that, okay, yeah, you can do these things. Yesterday, he insisted on dishing his food and setting it and helping his brother. The other day, so empowerment is part of leadership. I should not wake up when he's 18 and expect him to do the dishes, serve the food and all that, when I've not given him the opportunity to be empowered.
Yeah.
Another E is emotional intelligence. So how do I say this one? Emotional. How do I say this one? Because this emotional intelligence of a thing is that how, in the process of, for instance, trying to empower them, you are maybe you are late, and then you're trying to tell him, hurry up with this thing you say you want to do. But I need to be able to have that emotional intelligence to know how to where to apply my break, where to just keep quiet, where to overlook, where to tell him, you know what, I think you're doing great. I think you're doing amazingly well. So once in a while, I just want to tell him words of affirmation. That is part of emotion. Just able to get the temperature and know what is applicable. CAR, C, clarity of vision. A, adaptability. R, resilience. The first E, empowerment. The second E, emotional intelligence. Then the 3 I's. The first I can think of is innovative thinking. Innovative thinking sounds like adaptability, but the difference is when you think of innovative thinking, just think of creativity. So yes, we are trying to teach our children different things, but you can use skillful ways of teaching them. Our children are present day, we have children who are exposed to technology and all of that. How about you equally make use of technology to pass on values to them? How about using even what they like to teach them leadership traits and teach them what you want them to achieve in this life? Another I is influence. Honestly, it comes naturally to us as mothers, like we've said in the earlier part of this show, that we naturally are able to rub off on our children, but you can be more intentional about it. You can be more intentional about influencing your children. How? By first of all, being the example of what you want them to become. So intentionally being an influence to your children. Then finally, integrity. This integrity part, Somi and I have been echoing it and echoing it and echoing it. If you have morals, you have standards, you have things you're upholding, you have to ensure that you're not just upholding it to your children and telling them, don't you know that this is how we behave in this family? Don't you know we don't tell lies? And not that tomorrow you tell them, go and tell the landlord I'm not around. We like to use that example because it's very easy to remember. But integrity is that you are upholding it. So finally, John C. Maxwell, I'm repeating again, John C. Maxwell says, a leader is one who knows the way, goes the way, and shows the way. So if you are wanting your child to be a visionary African leader, you might not today be the president or something like that, but you can be a leader for your child to see, and you can equally influence your child by CAR, clarity of vision, adaptability, resilience, empowerment, emotional intelligence, innovative thinking, influence, and integrity.
Wow, that was a very. I felt like I was in a master class. So maybe Zoe has started pursuing a career in lecturing.
Sister, that
she did not mention to me. Yeah. So, but that was a very interesting one. Then another thing I want to add is when we say nation building, naturally the first thing that comes to your mind is politics. That's just only a part of it.
Honestly,
leadership starts from the home. And it starts from the home and spread across. So when we say women as nation building, it is in that your little sphere. As a mother, it is in that your home where you display leadership qualities. It is in that your boardroom where you're managing all, other people. It is in that your department where you're the head of department, and you need to, you have people accountable to you. So leadership is everywhere around us. At every point in time, you have someone you're leading, even if it's yourself. So you now have to take up that reins and ask yourself, what kind of leader do I want to be? What kind of leader do I want to model? And the truth is that the most effective way to lead people is by modeling. And, I keep sharing that example with about myself. I'm not a very perfect mother. In fact, I think I should be crowned the chief yeller of parents. And imagine me that now has an amplifier voice, so I can yell for Africa, but we're trying to work on that. But one area that we've been able to model for our children, I and my husband, is in the use of words. My children are very sensitive to words. And for me, it's like one of my reassurances that, okay, I'm not doing so badly in this parenting journey. Because it's so bad that you say, when you say, I'm mad right now, like, I'm angry right now. But my children automatically associate mad with negativity. Next thing you hear, mommy, exactly. You said mad. Or, mommy, you said stupid. So, and there was one, and just like the example you gave, there are some that just come unconsciously to us, and somehow we just feel it's white lie, you can get away with it, and something like that. But I had to start making the deliberate effort. Yeah. When one day, one of my aunts called, and she wanted to speak to my mom that day. And my mom was busy and all. So I just told her that she's not here, because I didn't want to make that excuse of she's busy, because I felt she might misunderstand it.
Yeah, that she doesn't want to speak with me.
So I just told her she's not here. Thank God that call went off immediately, because the next thing I heard, mommy, you lied. I had to start begging. I said, I'm sorry. I could not even, I had to just say, I'm sorry. Because I can't even define, because if I try to defend it, what I'm teaching them is that there is selective. Yes. Do you understand? So at that point, the only thing I did was I just told them, I'm sorry. And they were like, okay. And I was so grateful that the person on the other end too did not hear the announcement of my. So do you understand? So that goes to show that your children will not do what you tell them to do. They will do what they see you do. So it's one thing. Yes, you also use words, but the biggest form of impact and influence is modeling. When they see that, okay, we don't do that. There are some things my children do, for example, and we ask them, do you see mommy or daddy do that? And they say no. And to them, it makes more sense than if it's something you do. Do you understand? And you don't tell them, you should not do it. Must you copy? It doesn't make sense. So you just have to model it. So when we're saying leadership, we're not talking about politics, because there are a lot of people, they will say, the problem we have in this country is our politicians. No, it is not our politicians alone. It is the people as a whole. Because our politicians are a reflection of our society. And that's the absolute truth. They didn't come from the sky to be our leaders. They were picked from amongst us in the society. So that is why we're saying that in any sphere you find yourself as a woman, remember, we're not just talking to mothers. For mothers, yes, you have biological children. But then you might not have even birthed biological children. You could be a teacher who is responsible for all those little... As in, I find out that teachers, if you're not careful as a mother, there's tendency for your child's teacher to be the biggest influence in your child's life. Because you always hear, Miss, this person told me this, Miss, this person told me that, Miss, this person, and you're wondering, so where does mommy told me this coming? That's because you've not been talking to your child. You've not been having conversations with your child. That's because the teacher has been doing your job as a parent. So they begin to see the teacher, and that's why a lot of times it's easy for teachers to take advantage of such children, because there's a level of trust they build in the place of parenting those children. So parents were saying, mothers were saying, women were saying, take accountability. As we're accelerating action in leadership, and that is with a sense of urgency. This future we're talking about, on International Women's Day, my first son was 8. Wow. And I was not like, is it not this baby that I carry and come back from hospital which day? Yeah. And 8 years has gone just like that. And before you know it, in the next 10 years, he's 18. And I'm like, where did all that time go? So when we're saying raising future African leaders, future is tomorrow. Future is the next 30 minutes. Future is the next 1 minute. Future is the next 30 seconds. That is future. Future is not the next 100 years. Future is not the next 50 years. It is the next minute. And that's what we're trying to say on the A.R.A.L Show, is that every step from right on is taking us into that future. So by the time you're going into the next day, which is a future, what step have you taken today to make sure that tomorrow is better? What step are you going to take tomorrow to make sure that the day after is better? What step are you going to take in March to make sure that April is better? What step are you going to take in 2025 to make sure that 2026 is better? So it is not something that is far off. We're talking of, when we're saying raising future African leaders, we're saying raising the African leaders for now. It starts now. The process starts now. We might not see the result, but over time it gives. The children of Israel walked around the wall of Jericho. I want to believe, although that's a theory, I am assuming that for every step they took around that Jericho, they were putting a crack. They were putting a crack until finally it falls. And which is something we see with if you're falling a tree, for example, it's not that last cut that falls the tree that actually fell the tree. It is every cut that led up to that moment. So we're saying, as mothers, every action should be deliberate on your part to make sure that you are raising the African leaders for the future.
So me. You know, when we have conversations like this, I'm quick to remind us that Somi and I, we are very aware that we are not like perfect mothers who have come out to dish, what should we say now, masterclass to you. No, it's that we are mothers who are making efforts just like you. And that's why we say we would like to hear from you, your comments, your questions, your contributions, because we are just intentional mothers in our own sphere. Somi has her 4 sons she's raising. I have my 2. And you have your children. Perhaps you don't even have any yet, but you're just intentional and you're just committed to, when my child or when the children that look up to me, perhaps you might just be somebody in your neighborhood that children are find welcoming, or you just find them coming around you. We are saying that there's work to be done. It was Peter Drucker who said, the best way to predict the future is to create it. The best way to predict the future is to create it. And so something happened to me yesterday that left me with both a sorry and a grateful taste in my mouth. And I'm glad that it happened yesterday so that I can share it with you today. So I recently got into a new project that sometime in January that began taking some extra part of my time. And I observed that in trying to juggle all of that with my already existing responsibilities, my second son, who is younger, I realized that his home tasks, because he's someone who is very, very quick and witty, he likes to get things done by himself. I want to do it myself. I didn't realize that there's a particular subject that some aspects of the book, you know how some aspects of the book have ripped off? I didn't realize that there were some aspects of that book that was going back to school undone. I felt so terrible. Like, how did this happen that under my watch, my child was going back to school with work undone? It felt like, and then I remembered that there was a particular day in January. He told me, Mommy, sit here. So he wanted me to sit behind him. That Daddy used to sit here. And then I said, Daddy has his style. I have my own style, because I honestly wanted to, be very fast so I can get back to the kitchen and all that. And I'm like, oh my God, if I had just, paid more attention. But this is where I'm going. The times when I sit with them and I pay close attention, these things get done. The time when you slack a bit, it doesn't get done. So it's very demanding. In fact, my husband always tells me that, see, don't look for rest too early. Rest will come. But don't look for rest too early. There's a tendency for us to say, I beg, let them go. Their wallet is too much. No. Like Sumi is saying, and I started thinking the same way, they will soon grow. And when they grow, they go. And when they will go with whatever you have put in. They will not go with what you did not put in. The words you didn't say when you should have said. The ethics you did not pass on when you should have passed it. The example you didn't set when you should have set, those are the most regrettable moments, because you then wonder, how did I miss that? I am grateful that I saw my own mistake 3 months later. Thank God it's not 3 years. Thank God it's not 13 years. Thank God it's not 30 years. So here I am, grateful today that when he comes back, I'm going to sit where he told me to sit, and we'll get that home task done better. So once again, the best way to predict the future is to create it. Those children that you want, those things you want your children to become, create it. Be deliberate. When we put in the work, we will see it tomorrow.
Yeah, so it's been a very long discussion, and we're about to, call it a day. And as there was a series of video I stumbled on rather, whilst I was preparing for today's episode, and a whole lot of videos, so many of them, as in they're available everywhere, Facebook, YouTube, and you see them talk about the influence of their mothers. You see them talk about the influence of their mothers. You see them talk about the influence of their mothers. The truth of the matter is, your children might forget all the plenty things that you bought for them. They might forget all the material things you did for them. But one thing they will never forget is how you made them feel at every point in time. They will never forget all those times you showed up and showed out for them. They will never forget all those times where you actually paid attention to them. Like we said, I and Zoe, we are just intentional mothers who want to do better. We have not hit the mark yet, but we are pressing towards it. So, and that is why we're calling on other African mothers like us. Please join us on this journey to intentionally, with all intention, raise these children that God has entrusted into your care, so that when the time comes, you are able to stand tall and say, yes, I ran my race and I finished my race, because you look at your children and they fill you with so much sense of pride. And so we're saying today, if you have any woman who has impacted your life, be it your mother or any other woman, a mentor, someone somewhere, please tag her in the comment section. Let her know how much she means to you. Let her know how much influence she has had on your life. And beyond tagging her in the comment section, take it a step further by calling the person or reaching out to the person personally and letting the person know that you have played a vital role in my life. And for that, I appreciate you. I know some of you, you're waiting for Mother's Day to call your mother to say, oh, all the wonderful things. This might be the right time to do that and thank her for everything she has done for you. And once again, is Happy International Women's Day from us here at the A.R.A.L Show.
Yes. So, Somi, how do we cap it all up? Thank you very much for tuning in. Today's conversation was women as nation builders, accelerating action in parenting and leadership. Looking up at the word accelerate, it means to quicken the motion of something, to hasten something. And action is something done, often so as to accomplish a purpose. Our first purpose here on the A.R.A.L Show is raising our children to be visionary African leaders. We have complained enough about the leadership problem in the African continent. Now we have the opportunity to raise our children to be a solution to the African future. So we are saying that in our homes, while we have our children, we are leaders to them, because a leader is one who knows the way, goes the way, and shows the way. We also know that the best way to predict the future is to create it. And finally, from me, I want to say that do not forget KEI, which is clarity of vision. Make it very clear what you want the children to become and what you hope that they will do tomorrow. Equally, adaptability. Wherever you are, from wherever it is you want to start from, go ahead and begin. Then resilience. It's going to be tough. Nobody says it won't be, but do not stop. We're also saying empowerment. Mommy, I want to wash plates. Zoe, when you go home, allow him to. In case your child is telling you he wants to, please allow them, empower them. Then emotional intelligence. Do not forget to tell them how well you think they are doing and their efforts that they are making, and be innovative in your thinking. Think creatively. Think outside the box. It doesn't have to be the same old way. And influence. Be intentional in influencing them. It starts from your own life and your own choices. And finally, integrity. Uphold the things you are teaching them. Live for it and let them see you model it. So, Somi, how do we say bye? How do we say goodbye?
From us here at the A.R.A.L Show, we are pro-African, and that is why, as we wrap up the show, we want to tell you to tell the world that Africa is coming. So till we come your way again, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. And we have been here on Digit 1024 Media, and you'll do well to follow them across all platforms at Digit 1024. Trust me, there are a lot of refreshing content for you to binge on and enjoy yourself. So till we come your way again, I still remain Somi, and with me here is
Zoe.
So it's bye for now. See you next time. Don't forget, like, share, and subscribe. And of course, drop that comment and tag that woman that has influenced you.
Can I tag you? Bye.
All corners of Africa, rise from your slumber. The time is now. Lift your voices, take action, make your mark. Intentionally raise the leaders of tomorrow. This is the